Welcome to episode 4 of Generation Zero of the McFluff story. At this point, Gertie is the only human sim, which is a witch, and she's got 11 cats with her in this episode. She'll soon have all 15. She wants to befriend 15 cats. There's somebody heading off there on the left-hand side of the screen. The cats have all got high free will, so they can come and go as they please, as has Gertie. Sometimes I tell them what to do, and sometimes I follow them to see what they're doing. It's obviously night time, and most of them are sleeping. Some of them are not. That scratching pole needs replacing. There it is, $30 or 30 simoleons. There's a couple of the cats down in that basement. This is the upper basement. We'll be working on it and putting more furniture and decor into it during this episode. And we'll also be adding another level to the basement in this episode. We're going to need additional sleeping arrangements for the extra 4 cats. There's only 4 cats we've still got to add. There was 11 in the game already. The cats seem to be quite happy. I've done up Gertie's bathroom in a previous episode, so she's got good equipment to have get clean, have a bath and whatever, use the toilet. She's also got an all-in-one bathroom on this level because of the tables that she uses for her work, such as the inventing and sculpting tables, because she does tend to catch fire occasionally. That scratching triangle that the cat is about to start using is from around The Sims 3. I've got quite a lot of things from that site in my custom content folder, my mods folder. I convert them all to package files. And that on the left-hand side there is a litter tray. I've left a space at the foot of the steps for a set of circular staircase to go down to the lower levels, and it's enclosed in walls because later on there's going to be a garden at in the bottom basement, and I'll want to hire gardeners, and I don't want them getting through the whole house. So that turns out to be Choco. Choco, short for chocolate. And she's off on her own adventure. So I decided I'd follow her just to see where she was going. And she travelled for quite a while on her own little hunting trip. Back home, the other cats are all still behaving themselves. I tend to click through all of the cats just to make sure I know what each one is doing, and that's how I discovered Choco's off on a hunting trip. I don't think she quite knows where she's going, because she suddenly doubles back and runs through solid concrete. So here she goes, straight through the concrete. Then she runs through a brick fence. I thought I'd leave all that in because it's just so typical Sims. We've often seen one of the other Sims, like Gertie, riding her broom through the town along the roads, but we've never actually watched one of the animals make their way across the world via the animal route, which has nothing to do with roads. So I'll just cut back into Choco's progress every so often until she gets to her destination, wherever that may be. I'm not going to really try to click on her properly. I've just got her selected so I can keep track of her, because I don't want to interrupt whatever it is she's up to, because I'm sure it'll be something I would never have thought of telling her to do. And this is a way of getting some variety in the game. She's come a long way. We're almost across at the festival grounds, and Gertie lives at the other end of the world from the festival grounds. It'll probably take her all day to get back home again after she's been to wherever it is she's going. It's a shame it's night time though, because we can't see the beautiful colours and the scenery that you could see during the daytime. Although being at night, it is more atmospheric and you do get the impression of, I can't really see where we're going, it could be a bit spooky. It's got to be getting close to morning though. Wouldn't be surprised if the sun comes up soon. She can't have much further to go. I would be scared of having a cat run across the road like that, but it doesn't really matter in The Sims, does it? The taxi just goes straight through her, and she'd just keep on running along, taking no notice at all. I think this little park is somewhere down near the festival grounds. That looks like the house for Oscar and Louise's game in the distance there. That would be the Gypsy Hideaway. I think that's it. So she's come right through, because that house is about 2 or 3 lots away from the festival. So where is that little cat? Is that her just going on there in the middle of the screen, hidden behind the trees? There she is. You can just see the plumb bob bouncing along. Crossing another road. There goes a taxi. There's lots of taxis around this part of town because of all the activity that goes on across here. She's got to be getting tired. At least we're getting to see a bit of Hidden Springs at night. Looks like she's coming up to a small park of some sort with a children's playground in it. There's a pond with a bridge across it by the look of it. There's fish jumping. Looks like she's come to go hunting to catch fish. I have actually seen a cat do this before in one of my games. It was ages ago now, and it was in Barnacle Bay. And that cat went to fish in the ocean. This one's found a pond, a fishing hole, with a children's playground behind it. There's a deer. Hunting is one of Choco's traits. She doesn't have any skill yet. She's only been in the game for a little while. So she's genius, friendly, and a hunter. I think she just got 1 level of hunting skill. Any of the cats can get that hunting skill just by going hunting, and they will eventually get the trait as well if they keep doing enough hunting. I found some of the cats, when I was playing a game with these cats in it before, had 4 traits, and I only ever gave them 3. So they gain traits based on their experience. Oops, that's it, she's jumped in. Must have caught a fish. Well, I think she caught the fish and ate it, but I can't be sure. You usually get a message to say that she got it or she didn't get it. It's not in the inventory, so the hunger's gone right up, and she was quite hungry before. So it looks like she's on her way home now. I don't think we'll watch her do that whole journey. Although the sun's coming up, so there'll be more colour in the game on the way home. We'll just watch her get started and see where she is. So she's just behind the greenhouse. I've placed that greenhouse on an existing 40 by 30 lot that was made for a house, but I changed it to hangout. I changed the lot type before I placed the greenhouse there. So that was quite a way from Gertie's place, which is right on the outskirts of town, on the other side of town. So here we are back with Gertie and her cats, the rest of the cats. Choco's still on the way home. And obviously the sun's coming up. We've got a pink dawn this morning because we can just see the sky in the top right-hand corner. Let's have a little look around and see the sun rising across Hidden Springs. Rows and rows of mountains. There's the sun coming up or the moon going down. I'm not sure which that is. It looks like it could be the moon going down. So there's Choco on the way home. So here's Gertie in her almost empty basement. So we'll interrupt her from playing with magic, get her to do something on the inventing bench. I'd like to get her one of those metal smelting artisan art and craft things, but she hasn't got the money yet. We'll have to wait a while for that. She's got some metals in her inventory she could smelt, but I thought I'd keep them for her to smelt in that artisan bench rather than pay someone to smelt them for her by sending them in the mail. Is that Choco home or another cat? It looks like the black and white one is Socks. That one on the left could be Choco. See, I've decorated it a little bit now. I think they're by Pokey, those little bat lights. And I've never used them before. I've had them for a long time. But I wanted a cheap light and I couldn't find the usual cheap light that I use. So I thought, what the heck, bats will be quite okay. Now I'm going into build mode because she's got enough simoleons now to extend the basement. Now you might be wondering what this 12 by 12 square is that I've left. Now there's something in the way there. We can't build it all the way across. Yeah, she's got a group science project in her inventory for maximising the science skill. And I like to put it in the basement, and it needs at least a 10 by 10 square. And I've left an extra couple of squares all around, which I may steal back from it eventually. I'm just shifting the trees out of the way because they're probably sinking low and preventing me from drawing the basement there. We'll see anyway if after I've moved the trees, the rocks could be a problem too. But at this stage I think it's just the trees. So we'll just see what happens when I try again. Yes, no trouble this time. Just shift those trees out of the way and we can get the basement. So you can see that's a 12 by 12 square. I know I need a minimum of 10 by 10. I'm thinking of doing some special decoration on the bottom basement. See that group science project, it needs 4 levels because it has a big flame across the top of it. And if you don't leave 4 levels empty, I mean the level that it's sitting on plus 3 levels above it, then whatever you put above it won't be, you have to use move objects on to place things. And I don't like doing that. And also when the flame is burning, the flame will come up through everything. So I think I've just about spent all our money at this point. You're just going to have to go back and start collecting suns again. Those two rooms that I've got divided off there on the top of the screen, they're the bedrooms I've made for the sculptors who are going to come into the game in a couple of episodes. Now I use the wooden floor at this point because that's worth 0, so I can actually put floor coverings in without having to spend any simoleons that keep the money for something else. Now I'm going to put a staircase. I'm trying to do a circular staircase and put it in a place where we can separate it off from the rest of the house, because I want the gardeners to come in. I want to hire the gardening service. I don't want them to going all through the house. There's a problem with this. It won't go up against the wall. It wants to be half a square away from the wall, the left-hand side of the screen. But I want it so it's right up against the wall. So let's go see what's above that's blocking the staircase. Trees. I could well end up deleting these trees altogether. I think I did delete some in the original game. Now I've moved the trees out of the way. Let's see if we can place the staircase. Yes, no problems. It goes up against the wall now. So those trees are a real nuisance. I noticed when Lucky Palms, that World Lucky Palms was first released, that was when the trees started sinking into basements. So something happened in a patch at about that point that nobody has ever fixed, that makes things float. That's why when I have the wishing well in a game and I put it in a basement, I always put it in the bottom basement. Because when things sink, they usually need to be on the bottom basement or the ground level. Things, skating rinks, you put them in an upper floor in a big community lot, and they'll sink through the ceiling as well. It's really annoying, all the number of things, but you do learn to work around them and where to place things and not to place things. So if you ever wonder why, if I have a wishing well, it's always in the bottom level basement, that's why. I want my Sims to fish when it's winter time. Don't want them out in the snow freezing to death while they're fishing. So I put the wishing well in the basement. Those cats are all having a good old meow. You might notice I've got lots of different harvestables and different types of food. That's because I've got a lot of mods that add extra food and extra harvestables to my game. Makes things more interesting. It also means that if I decide to be mean and nasty to my Sims and tell them that they've got to learn all of the recipes, they've got a lot more books to sit and read. Which is really being mean and nasty to myself because I've got to wait for them to do it. Sims don't really mind. This place looks like it's a mess. So she's going to actually wash that dish up in the sink, but I'm going to get her to do a restoration ritual. That's something witches can do, and they can actually fix broken objects and just clean up all the mess. And I do have a mod as well that I put in recently that will make any rotten food be edible again. It was quite a surprise the first time I saw that happen. Didn't realise that that's what the mod would do. But I thought, hey, what the heck, it'll take me ages to find it, to pull it out, so I'll just leave it where it is. It's not doing me any real harm. They don't often have rotten food around the house anyway. So that was just a successful restoration ritual that she just did. Sometimes the restoration ritual is unsuccessful, and if that happens, everything in the house breaks. The taps and the showers and the toilets and the sinks, everything is broken, and there's water everywhere, and it's an absolute disaster. So then I usually get them to continue doing restoration rituals till they finally get it right. Now she's changed into her number 1 everyday outfit. That's the one she got when she was down the tunnel. I've noticed that her everyday outfit that I gave her is now her number 2 everyday outfit. So at least she's still got it. It's just that the one that she turns it to by default is the one she's just changed into now. So we're going to send her to the greenhouse. She's out of money. We've spent it all on the basement. And she's going to be collecting suns, which will sell quickly. I don't necessarily want to answer the phone. I find that the phone tends to ring whenever you get a sim to finally start doing something that you just wanted them to do. So I often ignore the phones. If it's important, we'll get a message and it'll happen anyway. At least she doesn't have a job to rush off to. I haven't given her a job yet. I will eventually probably give her some sort of a self-employed job so she can have a career, and also she can be earning money but not have to go out to work in a rabbit hole every day. That phone's going to continue ringing. I thought it would have stopped by now. Must really want me to answer it. Uh-oh, the bluebird just died. Despite fighting like a bluebird champion, Bluey has passed away. Farewell, dear friend. You will be missed. And it looks like that phone call was about an opportunity that she's just got. They get this opportunity when they get to level 10 in the inventing skill. Master Invention. The science facility has contacted Gertie with some amazing news. They've discovered a way to create a self-sustaining and compact energy device. Gertie has been waiting for this breakthrough to make her master invention. They'll need materials to build a prototype. Take 1 piece of palladium to the science facility to start. Objective: deliver 1 piece of palladium to the science facility. So maybe she'll find some palladium when she goes into her tunnels that she's dug with her mining machine. In the meantime, she'll just continue collecting suns because she needs simoleons. Sometimes I sell the seeds as well. The tunnel is still there from last time. When she was in the last episode, we left it and the tunnel was there, and now it's still there. I wonder if we'll get time. It's getting a bit late in the episode, so maybe she can go into that tunnel in the next episode. You can just see the tunnel there on the right of the screen where it was. If you watched the last episode, you would have seen her diving into it and finding things, with getting singed a couple of times as well. Because this is getting very close to the end of the video now. She's collected some wildflowers and she's getting suns. Now she can also get seeds. Sometimes I actually sell the seeds and she gets quite a bit of money that way as well. Because she's not going to be able to have a very big garden. She's only on quite a small block, and most of that is, to a large part of it, of her potential gardening space, is taken up with that 12 by 12 square I've reserved for the group science project. I suppose next episode we'll be selling seeds, meeting cats, and tracing palladium in the tunnels, among other things. There'll be more upgrading as well of the home lot. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.